Hey Google, tell me more about the Pixel 4. Hello? Hello? Well, I guess it doesn't matter. We already know a ton about the Pixel 4. It has been leaked to death, even from Google itself. So let's talk about what we're expecting to see as we lead up to the October 15th Made by Google event and some of the other products that might be there as well. Let's check it out. There's already a lot we know from Google itself about the Pixel 4. First, the company tweeted out an image of the back of the phone. We know there's no longer a two-tone design. Now there's just one type of texture, probably glass on the back of the phone. There's a giant square camera module, and you can see two camera lenses, which is a departure for the Pixel phones, which historically only have a single lens on the back. I do kind of like the design here because they are masking those lenses so it's not totally visible like they are on the iPhone 11 Pro, which have brought up comments about trypophobia. What exactly is the new lens here? 95Google says that it is going to be a 16 megapixel telephoto lens, which means that you'll be able to get up close to the subject, but a little disappointing for people who were expecting an ultra wide angle lens, like how Apple added one for the iPhone 11 this year. We also know what the front will look like for the most part. There will be a thick bezel at the top, no notch, hallelujah, and a minimal bezel at the bottom, giving it a pretty contemporary look. Why is there that thick bezel at the top? Well, we know Google is going to be using its Solely technology from its Advanced Technology and Projects division, which basically means that it allows for gesture sensing. So you'll be able to make gestures on top of the phone to trigger certain actions. Google has already said that you'll be able to do swiping gestures to dismiss phone calls, skip tracks when we're playing music, and even silence your phone calls. But that's not all the Solely tech is being used for. There's going to be a face unlock feature, and it'll be very similar to Apple's Face ID, but maybe even a little bit better. If that works the way Google says it's going to work, well, that sounds like it'll be better than Face ID, because at the moment you need to pull up the iPhone to your face for it to be able to unlock. Now, because Google shared this image of what the sensors look like at the top of the Pixel 4, we do know there is not going to be a second camera lens here. Now, that's different from the Pixel 3, which has two cameras on the front, a standard camera, and a ultra wide angle lens for group shots. The fact that it's now going to be a single lens likely means it's going to be a wide-angle camera, and maybe Google will just crop in a little bit when you just need to take a picture of yourself, and you'll have the ability to expand to the full field of view when you want to take a group selfie. That's a lot of what we know already based on what Google has told us. On to the leaks. We have a spec sheet from 95Google that says both Pixel devices will have a Snapdragon 855 processor powering them inside, not the 855 Plus. Bit of a bummer because that Plus chip is a little bit faster, but still the 855 is a very strong chipset. You're also going to get 6 gigs of RAM in both of them, but there is a floating rumor out there that says that there's going to be an 8 gig RAM version that might be for a Pixel 4 XL 5G, but we really don't know much else about that at the moment. Leaks show that you're going to get 64 gigs of storage or 128 gigs of storage, and the battery size will be 2800 mAh for the Pixel 4 and 3700 mAh for the Pixel 4 XL. That's a little less than I'd like. Pixel 3 really didn't give me that impressive battery life, but maybe there's some efficiency updates here that will make it last a full day. Onto the screens, which is a little interesting. You're getting a 5.7-inch screen on the Pixel 4 with a full HD Plus resolution, and you're getting a 6.23-inch screen on the Pixel 4 XL, and that is with a Quad HD Plus resolution. But the interesting thing here is that they're rumored to have 90 Hz displays, just like the OnePlus 7T. That'll allow for really smooth experiences when you're scrolling through apps like Twitter or when you're gaming. That's really exciting because it means the experience of using the screen on these two phones will be really, really great. Now onto the cameras, which is the meat of a Pixel phone because they're known for their excellent camera systems. We already know you're going to get a second lens in the back of the phone, which means increased versatility when you're taking photos because you can get higher quality zoomed in shots. 95Google says we're going to have a couple updates to night sight, as well as new features like an astrophotography mode and a new mode called motion mode. Now, night sight is going to get a little bit faster and probably offer up slightly better low light photos, better than current existing Pixel 3 that is. Motion mode is going to offer up the chance to take really high quality shots of moving subjects while adding a DSLR-like blurred background, just like in portrait mode, so it'll be interesting to see how that turns out. And the astrophotography mode will, as the name suggests, let you take photos of the stars. 95Google also says there's going to be a Pixel neural core inside, replacing the Pixel visual core that was inside the Pixel 3. That's where a lot of that image processing happens, and that basically highlights Google's emphasis on using neural network technology. And, generally that's going to mean better portrait mode shots, better night sight, better everything in the camera app. couple other minor things from 9 to 5 Google. They say that there's going to be a dual exposure mode, which allows you to adjust the highlights and the shadows on the viewfinder as you're taking a shot. There's also going to be the option to take a video by pressing and holding the shutter icon in the camera app, just like Apple's new Quick Take feature on the new iPhones. And Google's trying to make it easier to share your last photo without having to leave the camera app with this new feature called Social Shortcuts, basically giving you quicker access to certain social media apps. And Google Assistant is getting an upgrade as well. It's going to be version 2.0, or the next-gen Google Assistant that Google talked about back at I/O. What does that mean? It means it's going to be faster to interact with, and you can use it to control all the functions in your apps installed on your phone. We can already see the redesigned interface based on these marketing materials that were leaked thanks to 9 to 5 Google. And you can also see how much faster it is to interact with Google Assistant now, and how you can easily control it to access particular apps installed on your phone. Other tidbits include a voice recorder app that comes pre-installed, allowing for really accurate transcriptions, as well as a personal safety app that will identify when you are in a car accident, and it will make a really loud sound, and if you don't respond to that sound in a given time, it will automatically send word to emergency services or to any emergency contacts that you may have listed in the app. That's it for the Pixel 4, but that hardly means that's it for the actual event on October 15th. We're going to see a lot more devices, and one of the rumors is that we're going to see the Pixelbook Go, a new Chrome OS Chromebook from Google, following up on the Pixelbook as well as the Pixel Slate last year. And this is going to be a little bit interesting because it's not going to be a 2-in-1 like the original Pixelbook, and it's not going to be a tablet with a keyboard attachment like the Pixel Slate. It's going to be a clamshell laptop design like a lot of other traditional Chromebooks. 9 to 5 Google says that it's going to be built for portability, so it's going to be really lightweight, it's going to have a magnesium alloy body, and you're going to get things like a 13.3-inch touchscreen with options for a full HD resolution or a 4K resolution. You're also going to get multiple processor options ranging from an Intel Core M3 processor all the way up to a Core i7 processor, and options for RAM like 8 gigs of RAM or 16 gigs of RAM, as well as options for 64 gigs of internal storage, 128 gigs, or 256 gigs. And those leaks also suggest there's going to be 2 USB-C ports as well as a headphone jack. 9 to 5 Google says we're also probably going to see a Nest Mini and a Nest Wi-Fi. The Nest Mini is probably going to be very similar to the original Google Home Mini in terms of design. It might be a little bit bigger, but it's going to have better sound quality, and it's also going to have a wall mount so that you can wall mount it to certain parts of your house. And it's supposed to have a 3.5mm audio port, as well as a proximity detector so that it will automatically show you volume levels as you approach the device. Nest Wi-Fi is going to be an update to the original Google Wi-Fi from 2017, and this is going to allow for a new way to set up your system. You're going to have the main router and several other beacons that you can place around your house to enable that mesh networking technology. Now, these beacons are a little more interesting because they will now come with Google Assistant embedded inside, so you can use those beacons as a way to quickly talk to Google Assistant just like you would with other Google Home or Nest devices. Let it be clear though that Google isn't intending the main router to have these assistant capabilities in case of privacy concerns. The reports about the Nest Wi-Fi don't mention anything about Wi-Fi 6, the new Wi-Fi standard, but we're going to assume that it's going to come with it. It's going to be really weird if it doesn't. And this next one we barely have any information about, but sources tell 9 to 5 Google that Google is planning on launching an update to its original Pixel Buds that debuted back in 2017. It's going to be called the Pixel Buds 2, and that's about it. That's all we know about it. We don't really know whether it's going to be true wireless earbuds or if they'll still have the wire connecting each bud. And we'll have to wait and see if we want to learn more. With Amazon and Microsoft jumping into the foray of the earbuds market and Apple continuing to dominate the market with its AirPods, it's a pretty smart idea for Google to jump back in as well. That's a lot of hardware, and keep in mind we could also see a little bit more. We never know if there's going to be any other surprises in store, maybe a Pixel Watch, who knows? We'll be there on the ground covering the event, so stay tuned at digitaltrends.com and check out the event for yourself October 15th. You can live stream it straight from Google's YouTube page. Thanks for watching, everyone. What are you most looking forward to see at Google's hardware event? Let us know in the comments. Otherwise, like, subscribe, tap the bell for notifications, and head to digitaltrends.com for more.